So let's get into it. Today, I am covering two steps you need to look for throughout the day whenever you're trading. I'm trading crypto futures here. So usually I'm trading Bitcoin, Solana, looking at Tron or AVAX or other altcoins like that. I'm also going to cover the two kind of trading view indicators I use daily along with their settings. But if you are looking for a simple two-step process to find easy trade throughout the day, this is what I'm going to show you here. And I'm going to show you how I set alerts to alert me when these things pop up on a chart so I know when to take a trade. So let's get into it here. And if we first start out, you'll see we just made this kind of excellent move here. No, I was not in this trade, but I'm going to show you exactly what to look for, where you could have grabbed this move and made a nice 2-3 risk reward off of this. Had you even gotten back in here, which I didn't see my confirmation signal to get in back here, but there was another step that did signal a possible third step that could create that confirmation signal. Now, the first rule you are going to look at is the RSI. The RSI is very important. Traders use it all the time in stocks, options, futures, Forex, you name it. The RSI is there. It's in tons of books all the way dating back to the past. This is something you definitely want up on your charts. Now, if you prefer the MACD, that's fine as well, but you can see you're able to basically tell divergences. We want RSI divergences popping up. So this would be like bullish divergences or bearish divergences here. Bullish or bearish. So we're taking either longs or shorts here on Bitcoin or any of the other altcoins like Ethereum, Solana, AVAX, Dogecoin, whatever you want to trade. I always recommend starting out trading with one coin first just to get a feel for chart reading, especially if you are just starting out. So pick a coin, obviously, with some volume in it. You don't want just a dead random coin that's going to pump and dump really quick. Your kind of regular coins. Here's a list of them over to the right side here. But what we're looking for first, right? This is two steps here. So the only two steps I'm looking for throughout the day, and then I'll show you how to set alerts, is getting a bullish or bearish divergence. So I actually have set an alert on the 3-minute time frame, but I am looking on the 5-minute time frame. Now, why do I set an alert on the 3-minute time frame? I want to be as quick to know as possible if a divergence on the RSI is coming up. That's why I set it on a little bit lower time frame. 1 minute, you're going to get them all over the place, back and forth. You're going to get them here, you're going to get them here. Sometimes it's just pull back in the trend. So not as reliable, but the 3-minute. So after you add the RSI TradingView indicator, and I just use this straight from TradingView, it's just the relative strength index here. Okay, and it pops up like this, right? You can change these line colors however you want. I'll show you the correct settings here to put in. So my settings are actually RSI length is 7, source is close. This is how you calculate and get those pretty little lines for the divergence. So make sure you have that check mark. If you would like to see that, they do print late. So I have learned to eyeball them, right, a little bit better. Type SMA, length 3. And then if we move to style here, you're going to want to pay attention to RSI upper band 80, RSI middle band 50, and RSI lower band 22. Okay, so these are all the settings I use for the RSI. If you want to switch your colors here, right, whatever colors you want to make it, that is to you there. So that is all I have set for the RSI. So the RSI, very important in anything you're trading. I think most traders would agree, but this is pretty typical. So you're going to get these lovely red highlights as well. So if we are in an oversold zone, usually this means people, especially on the 5-minute time frame, 15-minute time frame, right? Higher time frames, we are scalping cryptocurrency here. So we're looking to get in and out of our trades anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour, probably usually. If it's a slower time of day, it could take a couple of hours around the afternoon time. But here you can see we were clearly oversold on the 5-minute time frame before making this push up. And a lot of people, when they see this oversold, they'll either be taking profits on their short or they'll be looking at a potential buy for a long down here. That's how people play the RSI. Now, what we're looking for those divergences first, now that you know the settings. So we are looking for any divergences that take place. So to set your alert, like I said, I have it set for the 3-minute time frame. You can just go add alert on RSI. So if I'm trading Bitcoin here, you can do this for any coin, but I just want it to pop up. You can select the 3-minute time frame. I'm on the 5-minute right now, but 3-minute regular bullish divergence, create once per hour open-ended alert. Depending on your trading view plan, you might have something else here, but you can hit create and it'll create that alert. Now, same with a bearish divergence, because we can take shorts throughout the day too. So we can have 3-minute and we'll get alerted when these signals pop up. So we'll see if we get a signal anytime during this video, but if not, that's okay too. And your alerts will pop up here, right? They should be over here to the right side where you can clearly see a log of all I have alerts set for 5-minute fair value gaps, and then as well as found a new regular bullish divergence at 11:57 a.m., which was right here. Okay. So check out this alert, right? On the 3-minute time frame, regular bullish divergence alerted me right around this time period. This would have been a really sweet long to take, and then I'll show you how to find entry on this. Now, once we see this bullish divergence, right, you can clearly see it on the 3-minute. I'm usually eyeballing it on the 5-minute though, but here it is on the 3-minute, right? We have this going down while this is going up. That is your divergence. So the chart's going one way while your RSI is going another way, signaling we may, right? It's trading, not everything's 100%. We may get a push up. Okay. So what is the second step we are looking for? The second step we are looking for here is a 5-minute bullish fair value gap. Now, unfortunately, on this lawn that's playing out right now, we didn't get one all the way through here. Did we get one on the 3-minute? Yes. 3-minute tends to be a little bit riskier, right? That's why I like the 5-minute. But we did get a 3-minute bullish fair value gap there. So once you see these two things pop up, or bullish divergence and a bullish fair value gap, I would prefer the 5-minute myself, but that is me. Could you certainly try it on 3-minute? Yes, that is up to you. You are your own trader, make your own rules. But we did get one even up here. So now that we have in this indicator that prints these boxes for us, right? These are just fair value gaps, which is just basically a price imbalance in the market. Price usually, right, likes to tap back into these fair value gap boxes, which makes good pullback entries for this lawn. Sometimes it'll just tap the top like it did on this one here or this one here. Sometimes it'll do a full pullback to kind of around the midpoint. So we are looking for those pullbacks. And yes, sometimes I am marketing in if I do see that 5-minute fair value gap up here. So it just depends how the chart is moving for the day. But even if we saw this one up here, our next step is simply, and this indicator, by the way, this trading view indicator is called fair value gap by Lux Algo, which is this one here. It'll pop up with these boxes. Notice how they got darker since I have two of them up, but I didn't really change any inputs. Some people like to mess around with the threshold, but I'm okay with just seeing all the fair value gaps on the 5-minute time frame. So now that we have, right, our bullish divergence back here that we saw on the 3-minute, like I said, sometimes they won't print on the 5-minute, but we do have a bullish divergence here. This is why I'm eyeballing this on the 5-minute. This is going up while this is going down. And we have our 5-minute bullish fair value gap here, right? We could simply draw from our swing high to our swing low. Yes, I draw the Fibonacci backwards. I am okay with that. And we are looking for it to tap our 0.618 area right here, which it did. So this is typically my entry spot, right? Entry. And take profit if you want to keep it simple. If you don't feel like trying to write it all the way up through, God knows how many fib lines it'll go up to, right? Usually we're matching up with support and resistance off to the left-hand side. But if you just want to take profit at the 1.272, right, this actually lines up pretty nicely with what could have been a double top here. A lot of times you'll get those double tops, triple tops, and it'll fall back down. So I would have definitely been looking at the 1.272 area to take profit there. But that is all we're looking for, the entry and exit. So Price, you're entering in at 0.618 at the Fibonacci. So for Bitcoin here, right, 88,015, that's all you would place on your limit order. So if you have your exchange open, whether it's Mexi, Femex, Blowfim, Bybit, whatever kind of exchange you use, you might need a VPN depending on your country restrictions, but you can simply place, depending on your quantity, say I'm taking a long here, I'm looking to take profit here. Now, where does our stop loss go? Stop loss, I'm putting below the 5-minute fair value gap candle. So we have this lovely candle right here. We could simply, and if it matches up with a fib line, even better, give it some breathing room. So we have this 5-minute fair value gap candle. Okay. So I would just put the stop loss below that candle. Could we come all the way back down to this fair value gap? Yeah, that's why I put it a little bit below that. But we have our 0.618 area here too. And this actually would have been a sweet trade at 7 risk reward ratio. So kill me on that one. That's what you get for doing research during the day. So a nice 7 risk reward ratio on that one, just taking profit at the 1.272. Pretty simple trade laid out. So these are the 2 steps you must look for. Let's look at a short example really quick. And right, I know these are examples going back in the past, hindsight 2020, right? But this YouTube channel is for teaching. If you want to come see me live trade, it is available in the Discord link down below in the YouTube description. So feel free to join in. And let's take a look at a quick short example. All right. Now, guys, let's look at a couple of short examples, right? I'm just pulling this up really quick, but you'll see back here, we had a bearish divergence going on, right? We did get a 5-minute bearish fair value gap here. So here's our fair value gap on the 5-minute. That's bearish. Okay. We would have been wicked out here. Unfortunately, this would have not been a good play for us, but showing you how this works, right? We came up to 0.618. We dabbled around here. Now, how you could tell where you need to be getting out of these trades, and this is going to be key because this happened to me this morning, if you're getting a 5-minute bullish fair value gap. So if you fail, right? If this fails and then we create a 5-minute bullish fair value gap, so you'll see this candle here, right? We have a 5-minute bullish fair value gap now. Now, this is where you can certainly get out at break even, which is exactly what happened to me this morning. I just got out of my short trade at break even because we had a couple of 5-minute bearish fair value gaps, but then we formed a 5-minute bullish fair value gap. That signals to me it's time to get out. So that's a little trick for you guys. If you see it going against your trade, right? No trading strategy is 100%. Remember that. So if you have the short theory, right? We have our bearish divergences. We have our 5-minute bearish fair value gap here. But then what happens? It comes up to our 0.618, creates a 5-minute bullish fair value gap. That's where I'm just closing out of my trade, right? Around a break-even price, maybe paying some fees. So that is a market out situation. So if we play this forward, we can see what kind of happens here. We would have for sure been whipped out. Does it probably come back down after that? Probably yes. So probably a nice liquidity sweep type of area, but you never know. I'm usually just getting out if I see something going against my short trade theory. So let's see if we can find maybe a bearish divergence. Here we have a lovely bearish divergence that forms, right? We have a couple of 5-minute fair value gaps. Now I'll probably have to mark it in on this one, but so I'll just mark it in here. If I'm looking for certain take profit levels, I'd probably be backtracking my fib here with this fair value gap. So just drawing something like that. So we almost tapped, right? That nice 5-minute fair value gap lines up pretty well with 0.786, but we just capped it. We're coming down to 1.272 here. And I just like to see where people could possibly be taking profit at. So I'll do my best to aim for this 2 level stop loss right above this kind of fair value gap candle here. This one hasn't quite formed yet, this fair value gap candle. So when you are trading live, right, you'll have a countdown timer timing the 5-minute candle. So you do need to wait for those. So right now my stop loss is up there. So about a 2 risk reward. We'll play it forward. There's our 1.618. Ooh, there's our 2. So we're out of that trade. So this is what I'm talking about. These bearish divergences, right? We never got, in that previous play, we happened to get a 5-minute bullish fair value gap, had a liquidity sweep, and then it came back down. But usually if I'm seeing those 5-minute bullish fair value gaps come into play, I'm getting out of my short. Now what do we see? We have a nice 5-minute bullish divergence going on. If we hop to the 3-minute even here, yep, there it is printed out for you. This is why I have my alerts set for the 3-minute time frame. We'll see if we're able to catch a long off this play or if we're just going to stick with this overall downtrend. Nothing in tradie, like I said, is 100%. Oh, we're already tapping 0.618, which is our entry level. So I will go ahead, hit buy just to show you guys quickly. We'll see how this one plays out. If it hits our stop loss below this 5-minute fair value gap candle and 0.17 fib line, we'll just take profit at 1.272. Not a very good risk reward there. We have about a 1-to-1. Shall we try for the 1.618, the top of the trend? That's a little bit better. It's a nice at least 2.5. Ooh, here's the very top. We'll hit confirm. Okay. So we're stuttering. Okay, so this is when I'd be getting out. I'd have been getting out back here, right when I saw this 5-minute bearish fair value gap. Now, why am I getting out here? So the same as that short scenario, except this is a long scenario. Now we have a 5-minute bearish fair value gap that form. Our long theory is now invalidated. Okay, so now I'm just going to close out of this trade, pay something in fees, right? I fast forwarded this, but I'm getting out of this trade. I would have got out as soon as I saw this 5-minute bearish fair value gap form right here. So I might have been break even with fees involved or a little bit in profit, but I would have been closing out of that position because we got a 5-minute bearish fair value gap. So this is a good little replay lesson of when to get out of these trades if they go against your theory. All right, we will do one more random bar replay. All right, we'll play this forward. I'm kind of random bar. Looking for, oh, there's our bearish divergence. There's our bearish fair value gap. Right? Check, check, 2-step scalping, confirmation. We'll draw our fib, right? You're looking for entry at 0.618. We're going to TP, right? 1.272, stop loss above this 5-minute fair value gap candle and 0.382 area. So we'll play it forward. I don't know why that didn't wick us out. Oh, I had it down a little bit. But it did hit 1.272 there. Even 1.618, even 2. So those are the fib lines you're looking for. A perfect little random bar replay example. And we came exactly down to our 1.272 here before shooting up again, right? We did have some 5-minute bullish fair value gaps through here, but what did we not have? We didn't have a 5-minute bullish divergence. So you can simply wait, right, for this to play out. You get your bearish fair value gap again. You're in an overall downtrend. The trend is your friend in trading. I love going with the trend. Have better odds that way, and that's how you play it. All right, so those are the 2 steps you can look for any time of day. That was Saturday at 7:25 a.m. on Bitcoin, right? There's a lot of other coins you can certainly try out with this. Like I said, I would pick some coins with volume that have been around a while. Here they are off to the right side. Try to pick a coin, get to know its chart because you're going to know how that chart behaves and you're going to know what to expect from it. Okay. I'm constantly watching these coins all day, every day. I highly recommend if you're working at home or whatever it may be, leave a chart open and just watch and see what it does. Even if you're not trading, if you're just learning how to trade, that's all I did in the beginning. Just watch the charts and see how it behaves. You have to remain consistent with trading. Treat it like a job, like a business. This is not passive income. This is not get rich quick scheme, right? This takes a lot of work and learning to get used to. And if you guys are interested in learning more about scalping and day trading, please check out the link down below to my link tree. I do have a course. I do live trade in the Discord group if you want to see this live, right? Social media. I have trading tools and deals down here too for whatever platforms you're using, along with crypto tips and tricks in the newsletter. So feel free to check it out below, and I will talk to you soon.